Hello students, welcome back. Some more examples, I guess. How about a 4x4 example? Of course, this is going to be a little bit more time consuming. Here we go. Here's the setup, the original matrix here, and then the identity matrix. Where do we start? Well, switch R4 and R1 so that I get 1 in the top portion so that we get 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, looks like that's not going to be too difficult a computation. So let's copy and paste the last row to the first, and then the first row to the last. And of course, we have to do the same thing. We just did the same thing to the red matrix as well. Well, does it look good? Is that what we have over here? Same, okay, alright, so far so good. Nothing's wrong. Now, I want to make this one to 1, 0, 0, 0. So, okay, how should I do that? So first, just add up 1 plus 1, and that'll kill off this -1. Okay, just add up, straight add up, nothing to multiply, just straight up. 0, -3, add, nothing, add, -8, and then if I add, that's what we get. Did I do this one correctly? Next, to the third row, I have to multiply 5 to the first row and then add them up. So multiply by 5, so 5, adding up. Multiply 5, so this becoming -5. Multiply by 5, oh that's still 0, so nothing. Multiply by 5, so -10. Add them up, I'm getting -15. Now multiply 5 and then add them up, that's 5. These are all zeros, so I don't have to do too many. Okay, next, multiply 4 and then add them up, that'll kill off this -4. So multiply 4 and then add them up, so that's 0. Multiply 4 and then add them up, 1 minus 4, -3. Multiply 4, that's still 0, no problem there. Multiply 4, that's -8. -8 minus 1, so -9. Final step. Multiply by 4 and then add them up, so that's what we get. Let's see, did I do everything right or anything wrong? Let's check. Nothing's wrong. Okay, all looks good. Okay, I don't need this any longer. And okay, now 1, 0, 0, 0, that's done. And maybe I want to do something here, this row. And then how should I do that? Well, if I subtract this 4 minus 2, R4 minus R2, so -3 minus -3, that'll kill off. And yeah, okay, R4 minus R2 and plug it over here. Okay, I could have done a little bit differently, but I'll follow the same step as I've done before so that I can a little bit more easily check the answer key. So R4 minus R2, that's what I'm going to do. So subtract, that's 0. Subtract, that's 0. And -9, subtract, let's plus 8, so I'm getting negative 1. And finally, subtract. Subtracting second row from here, so minus 1, subtract, I'm going to get 3. Okay, does it look good? Well, okay, looks like I'm done with this one. I can check it by simply opening up this cell shortly. So let's go over to the next step. Here, let's see. If I, let me see. I double this and subtract from here. So double this and I'm going to get negative 6 and then subtract. So negative 5 plus 6. Oh, that's how I'm getting 1 here. So let's do that. Multiply by 2 and subtract. So 5 minus plus 6. So that becomes 1. And negative 3, okay, let's double it. Negative 4, but I'm subtracting. So plus 4, so that's 1. And double it, negative 16, but subtracting. So plus 16, so that's going to be 1. And let's see, double it and subtract. Make it 2 and subtract. Double it and subtract. Make it 2 and subtract. I guess this completes this computation. Shall I check? Looks good. Looks good. So far, no mistake. Okay. So that's where we are for now. So I don't need this any longer. Okay. Now I got this one here. So let's switch these two. As a matter of fact, no. I thought about switching these, but I cannot resist taking care of this one first because we have 0, 0, 0, 1 nicely. So let's go ahead and do that one first. So, multiply by negative 1, so change the sign, and change the sign, and then change the sign. So is that what we have here? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And this part is still in limbo, but I got 0, 0, 0, 1, so it looks like this one is in good setting now. Okay, at some point, of course, I'll have to come back and take care of this part. All right. Next. R1, and then... Oh, okay, I have 0, 0, 0, 1 here. This is so easy that I decided to take care of this fourth row before the second row. Yes, I can do that. I mean, certainly I could do this over here, but I mean, this fourth row is so simple, it makes a lot of sense to do it this way. So double it and then add them up. That'll kill off this negative 2. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Double it and then add them up. So that's gone. But double it, minus 2, and then add them up. Double it, make it 2, and then add them up. No change there. Double it, negative 6, and then add them up. I'm going to get negative 5. That concludes this row operation. Next, let me remove this negative 8. So multiply by 8, and then add them up. So that'll certainly remove this 0. Now multiply by 8 and then add them up, so it's minus 8. Multiply by 8 and then add 1 plus 8, so that's 9. That doesn't change anything. Multiply 8, so negative 24. Negative 24 and then add them up. Negative 23. Okay, all right. Okay, finally this. And, oh, just straight up subtraction. 1 minus 1, that'll kill up. So, okay, that. And just subtract 0 minus 1, so that's plus 1. Negative 2 minus 1, that's negative 3. 1 minus 0, that's good. 3 minus of negative 3, that's addition 6. And looks like that completes all three operations here. And let's check. There were so many computations. So, okay, there's good reason to congratulate myself. There were so many computations, but looks like everything is done correctly. They all match. Alright, so far so good. Okay, 1000, that's done. 0001, that's done. And then we have to work this one. Now I think it's easier to work this one out. This is already 0, so let's work this one out. So, what am I doing here? Oh, switching R2 and R3, so that working this one, okay, that'll work too. And I was thinking about adding up and killing this one, but okay, alright, that'll work too. So let's go ahead and do that. Copy and paste. Okay, switch R2 and R3, so this becomes 1, 1, and they become negative 3, negative 2. But here I'm gonna need some copy and pasting. This one comes down like this, and then third row goes up to the second row. And let's see, is that what we get? Let's check. Okay, alright. So far so good. But also we got 1 here, so that I'm in good setting. Okay, alright. Alright. Let's remove this one. Make this one 0. So multiply by 3 and then add them up. That'll kill this one off. So multiply by 3 and then add them up. That's gonna make this one 0. Multiply by 3 and add them up. 3 minus 2, that'll make this one into 1. And let's do it here. Multiply by 3 and add them up. 3 minus 8, negative 5. Multiply by 3, that's negative 9. Add up, that's 0. Multiply by 3 and add up, that's 3. Multiply by 3, that's 18. 18 minus 23, that is negative 5. And of course, I cannot trust myself completely in this kind of mental math. So let's see what I did. Okay, looks like all good. Alright, looks like everything is going okay. Okay, alright, everything's okay now. And this is where we are. And then, let's see, shall I kill this one off? Yeah, R2 minus R3, then 1 minus 1, that'll kill this one off. So R2 minus R3, subtract. So 1 minus of negative 5, that's positive 6. Subtraction by 0. 1 minus 3, that's negative 2. 6 minus of negative 5, that's addition. I have 11 here. Is that right? Looks like everything is perfect. We are up to here. Okay, up to here. Alright. One last computation. Add up that'll kill up this -1, and that's gonna give me the final answer. Add up, that's gonna become 0. We have identity matrix here, so add up. Second row, addition, so that's +4. Add up, that's -1. Add up, -2. Add up, that's 6. And is that the final answer? Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, I'm a little bit surprised that I got it right in the first try. Even simpler problems, as a matter of fact, I made so many mistakes and I had to redo and re-record, but in 4x4, I'm getting it right in my first try, and I'm actually surprised at myself. Anyway, what's the point of that kind of self-adulation? My point is, if you know what you're doing and show that in the exam, I will give you full credit, because make some mistakes here in this kind of elementary row operations and getting wrong answer is not too much of a big deal, so don't get frustrated. In the exam, just do the process and show me what you're doing, and of course what you have at intermediate should be matching with these. And then if you make some mistakes here and there and then ending up with some wrong answer, or maybe unable to finish the problem, that's not a deduction. Okay. I always write at least one inverse problem in the first exam, and I always grade like this. I grade as generously possible in numerical computation. As for the reasoning, I make reasonable, tough grading over there. Anyway, inverse computation, for humans, it's really tedious and then it's torturous. But for computers, it's just completely algorithmic. So this is not much a big deal. Even if you have 100 by 100 matrix, it'll take a little bit of time to calculate this elementary row operations, but algorithm is completely algorithmic, so no problem there. And if you just run mathematical computation, like, let's see, do I have a computation problem here, down here? Yeah, okay, something like this. If you just run it, it takes that much time to get the answer. No problem there for computers. As for humans, of course humans err, but those are not too much big deal. Just show me that you know what you're doing, and that's going to be sufficient. Okay, so much for inverse matrices.